What's up, guys? It's Cassie and Sara, and today we're talking about The Boy in the Box.
So if you like murder mysteries, make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep on watching. In February 1957, a young man was out checking his muskrat traps when he found the body of a little boy in the woods off of Susquehanna Road in Fox Chase, Philadelphia. However, he was scared that the police would confiscate his traps, so he didn't report the body of the little boy. A few days later, a college student saw a rabbit run into the underbrush. The student knew that there were traps in the area and went to check on the rabbit. Instead of finding the rabbit, he found the body of the little boy. The college student didn't want to have any contact with the police and waited until the next day to report what he had found. The body of a young boy, who was about 4 to 6 years old, was found and wrapped in a plaid blanket tucked inside of a cardboard box. This cardboard box at one time contained a bassinet that would have been sold at your typical JCPenney's. It was noted that the boy's hair had been recently cropped, possibly after death, because clumps of the boy's hair were stuck to his body. He also appeared to be severely malnourished, as well as having surgical scars on his ankle, groin, and an L-shaped scar under his chin. I mean, if I found a body, I don't care about traps, I don't care about anything. If it's a little boy, I would immediately, tell somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad enough to find a dead body in general and not tell anybody, but a little boy? You could have, at the very least, done, an anonymous call.
Yeah.
At the very least, as soon as you found it.
They cut the boy's hair.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't feed him. So he obviously was skin and bones.
Yeah.
And surgical scars on his ankle, groin, and under his chin.
Yeah, I don't know why he would have had those.
Maybe
they were just beating him. Maybe, it wasn't...
They didn't, cut him.
Yeah, maybe they were just abusing him and...
But how... An L shape? How would that...
Say he, fell? If he
fell?
fell on the corner of a table? It would have created something like that. So they found pieces of his hair on him. So what, they cut his hair
and just tossed it? While he was dead?
Yeah, or if he died, maybe they then cut his hair so he couldn't be recognized and then put him in the box and didn't bother cleaning him off? Or was he in that box and he was alive and died because he didn't have anywhere to go, no food, nothing.
Or severely malnourished. Didn't have the strength to just do anything.
Yeah.
This might be the saddest one we're doing. This.
I think they're all really sad. But when it comes to children, that's a whole another level. Especially since we work with kids and we're like...
Oh my gosh, don't get me started. That's what's just going through my head.
Yeah.
All the kids I work with that I love.
Yeah. How could someone ever do that to a child? They're literally helpless little humans. Makes me so sad.
On February 26, 1957, an investigation into the boy's death opened. The boy's fingerprints were taken, and the police were very optimistic that the boy would soon be identified. However, no one came forward with any helpful information. The Philadelphia Inquirer put out 400,000 flyers to the public depicting the boy's likeness and to find the boy's family. The crime scene was also combed over by 270 police academy recruits to look for clues. The police ended up finding a man's blue corduroy cap, a child's scarf, and a man's white handkerchief with the letter G in the corner. However, the evidence led them nowhere. The police also put out a post-mortem picture of the boy fully dressed and in a seated position in hopes that someone would recognize him. Despite the large interest in the case, the boy's identity is still unknown and the case remains unsolved to this day. I feel like they did find some good clues, but back then in 1957, they didn't have the technology to...
But also, where could that really lead you, though? So if it was just kind of, in the woods or, off a road, which I believe it was kind of, on the side of a road in, some brush.
Area.
Yeah. Driving down the road, you see, trash that people throw out their windows.
Yeah.
So what if all this stuff was just crap that people chucked out their windows?
That's true.
So I feel like for them it would be really hard to follow any of that because what are you going to get from that?
400,000 flyers?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Okay, yeah. It blows my mind. So, we said that it's still unsolved. You're telling me that nobody recognized this boy?
Well, okay, so we go back. Did they put a picture on it? Because it just said, like, his likeness. I don't think it said anything about a picture. I think they were just describing.
I mean, yes, I think on the flyers, yes, but there was probably information or a picture that came out. Because then we go on to say that they sat him up, which
fully dressed
is really gross to think about, but I understand why they had to do it. And, like, took a picture of him and put it out there. So it might not have been in the 400,000, but his picture was still put out there all over the place. It's been out there for years. And then I also, when doing research, I read that they reconstructed his face. Like, when the years got, like, a little more advanced or whatever.
I saw that.
Yeah, they reconstructed what he looked like. He was. So we know what he most likely looked like pretty closely. The fact that nobody has really been like, oh my gosh, I know that kid. Probably someone knew who it was, but they, for reasons we're about to get into, didn't want to come forward.
During our research, we found a couple theories about the case. The first theory is that the boy lived in a foster home. Remington Bristow, a medical examiner's employee, pursued this case until his death in 1993. Bristow contacted a psychic that told him to look for a place like a foster home. The foster home that he found was about 1.5 miles from where the boy's body was found. After exploring the foster home, Bristow noted that he found blankets similar to the one the boy was found in at the foster home. He also found that the foster home had bassinets very similar to the ones that were sold at JCPenney. Bristow believed that the boy belonged to the stepdaughter of the man who ran the foster home, and that because the stepdaughter was an unwed mother, they decided to get rid of the boy. Despite the circumstantial evidence, the police were not able to find many definite links between the boy and the foster family.
Okay, so what do you think about that theory?
I mean, okay, so you found similar blankets that the boy was found in, and similar
at the foster home that they used.
Unless, like, that was a super, like, popular, like, bassinet at the time. But, like...
That too, yeah. Yeah. It's hard because it's like, what if during 1957 or whenever he actually went to the foster home, like you said, they were just common blankets, common bassinet that
but I just
would
mean
use. It's very suspicious.
It is.
I will say that. I think his theory is interesting, though, that the boy possibly belonged to the daughter.
The unwed mother.
Yeah, so especially during that time, it, wasn't always the
most accepted.
Yeah, it tended to be looked down on with an unwed mother. It's a good theory. I really think but at the same time, there's no strong evidence. Because, like, how can you for sure say that that blanket came from that foster home? I know. There's no evidence other than that in his theory.
The second theory is a woman known as Martha, or M. This theory was brought forward in February 2002 by a woman identified only as Martha. The police thought Martha's story to be plausible. However, she did suffer from mental illness, so they weren't sure if what she was saying was true. She claimed that in the summer of 1954, her abusive mother purchased the boy, whose name was Jonathan, from his parents. She said that the boy received extreme physical and sexual abuse for 2.5 years. One night, at dinner, the boy vomited all over his meal of baked beans at the table. Because of this, he was given a severe beating. The boy's head was slammed against the floor until he was semi-conscious. He was then given a bath, during which he died. The details that Martha gave the police matched information that only the police knew. The coroner had found that the boy's stomach contained the remains of baked beans and his fingers were water wrinkled, as if he had been submerged in water for a long period of time. Martha also claimed that her mother had given the boy the unprofessional haircut and later forced Martha to help her dump the boy's body in the Fox Chase area. Even though Martha's story seemed to be what really happened, the police had no way of verifying it. Neighbors to Martha's home told the police that there was never a young boy living there and that what she was saying was ridiculous. There have been other theories out there, but they have been inconclusive. My favorite theory by far.
Yes, this is also... Should we have favorite theories? I don't know if that's kind of sick. This is like the one that we both definitely gravitate towards and think probably is the truer of the two.
Yeah, because she knew...
Like, how did she know all that stuff?
Yeah.
That the police didn't put out?
Like, they found baked beans in
his stomach that people probably didn't know.
But you know what? The scars on his groin could be part of the sexual abuse.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, like, I feel like what she's saying is true because, like, the fact that she talked about the boy's haircut and she talked about how he had baked beans for dinner before he died and how she said that she assisted her mother.
Accessory?
She was an accessory to the crime. So, like, basically...
Is that it?
Yeah, it's good enough. I don't know if that's what I was going for, but it'll work. So, basically, she's, like, saying that she's the one who helped commit this crime. Even though she didn't say she was the one that killed the boy, she helped her mother carry him out to Chase Hollow. Or Chase... Oh, my gosh.
That sounds way better.
I know. Fox Chase. That's what I meant. She's saying that she was part of the crime, so shouldn't they arrest her? Like, technically?
Yeah. Unless, like...
She didn't say...
She didn't want to, I don't think.
No, the way that she told them about it was saying that she was kind of forced to do it because of how her mother was, like, abusive and stuff like that.
So, my wheels are turning.
What?
Okay, so you know how in the first theory... They were saying, like, they decided to get rid of the boy.
Mm-hmm.
What? Because they're saying the mother purchased the boy from the family. What if he was in the foster home, but she purchased him?
And they gave her a bassinet and blanket just because he was probably a baby at the time. We solved it! Yeah!
High five!
Case is closed. We better go hit up the Philadelphia police. Dang. That's a good point, though.
Thank you. See?
That was a good point.
I feel so good about myself right now.
Dang, I didn't think about that. But yeah, like... Ooh, it's coming together.
But
the police probably already thought about this.
They probably have, but...
You know, we're coming to it now. It's hard to say, but at the same time, how do you just kind of pass over someone telling you all this? Like, all this stuff that is, like, legit. I don't know, that's a good point, though. Yeah, so I would say that we think... Our theory is that the unwed mother of the foster guy had the baby, and then they sold that baby Jonathan, to
the mother
of Martha. And then Martha's mother
did all that
sexual and physical abuse for 2.5 years, and then proceeded to...
But he was also 4 to 6, so maybe they... Okay. They kept the boy, the unwed mother...
Kept the boy for, like, 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah.
And then...
But again, he could have also been younger, because he was so malnourished that it was hard for them to tell how old he actually was. So, it's hard to say. But yeah, I definitely think that...
I feel so accomplished. I feel like I've solved something.
It feels like the one case that we're like... Nailed it.
It's just like those two theories
just kind of like go together. It's a good thought.
What if hold up though, somebody obviously thought of it, but like so. What
if we crack the case?
What if I thought of it first?
If that's the case, we need to get some better police because if they didn't think of that and you did, no offense to you, but
I am not the brightest crayon in the crayon box. The boy was buried in Potter's Field and then reburied in Ivy Hill Cemetery in Cedar Brook, Philadelphia. The large plot of land was donated by the cemetery, and the coffin, headstone, and funeral services were all donated by the son of the man who had buried the boy in 1957. The city residents continued to keep the grave decorated with flowers and stuffed animals. The boy's grave has a large headstone bearing the words, "America's Unknown Child." To this day, the murder of the boy in the box in Fox Chase, Philadelphia has never been solved.
So they dug him back up, I think, to take, like molar evidence or something like that. That's why he was reburied again, but the son of the man decided to rebury him in Ivy Hill Cemetery.
I think that's kind of like, I don't want to say cute, but like,
But
okay,
it's nice.
So in 1957, a man buried him.
Yeah.
And then, like, what, the 21st century or the...
Yeah, I don't know when they...
I'm not sure when they reburied him, but the son of that man...
Yeah. I think it's nice.
Yeah. And it's nice that he's still thought of. Like...
Yeah. This is like a big story.
They continued, like, flowers and stuffed animals.
Yeah, like even I think they're still doing it now.
Because, I mean, if you're to believe in, like, the afterlife or, like, ghosts or something, he could still be, like...
Like, there like,
and,
yeah.
you know, see all the love that he...
Yeah, even though he was kind of forgotten when he was...
Yeah, that, like, somebody actually still cares.
That kind of just broke my heart a little bit.
I can just imagine, like, parents and, like, their children just going, and the parents have the flowers, and the little kids have, like, the stuffed animals.
And give them, yeah.
I'm like, oh.
That's really nice, though. I'm glad that he's, like, still remembered.
Yeah.
And I really, really hope that the case gets solved. Because, like...
I want this kid to have a name. I don't want it to just say America's Unknown Child.
Yeah, like, if they can't find who killed him, like, at least find out who he was. If his name really was Jonathan, or if it was something else, you know? Like, at least, you know, I don't know. We hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of a sad one this time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all sad, but this one's extra sad. Let us know what you think about the two theories that we discussed about the boy in the box. If you think that Martha's theory with her mom, or if the other guy, Bristow's theory, was right. Also, if you have any other theories that you think that could be right, let us know, because we'd love to hear them.
If there was anything that we missed, there probably is.
Let us know.
Let us know. Correct us if we said something wrong.
If there's any other stories that you guys want us to do, you want us to talk about, theorize about, let us know. We'd love to do them. Jack is going to stay with us.
Any other words? Fuck you. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and follow us on all our social media, and like us
everywhere.
Like us everywhere. Spread our name across the world.
Give us a like on our videos if you guys are enjoying it, if you want to see more of it, all that good stuff.
All that jazz.
Yeah. We will see you guys next Friday. Peace!